Liberation Day has happened. The Great Reset economically for the United States has happened. Yesterday, Trump inaugurated the next wave of tariffs on all the other nations of the world, all the other countries around the world. And we're going to see how this plays out economically. I know a lot of people have a lot of hesitancy and trepidation about even talking about this, even thinking about this. Like, what could this mean for my 401k? What bottom line, what does this mean for me? We're going to talk about that. But we're also going to talk about how this could be principally biblical. All right, my name is Brandon Fogel. This is Evolution. Let's dive into it. All right, so I don't know if you caught yesterday, it will go down as a historic moment. I know it will. Good or bad, you know, for better or for worse, it will go down as a historic moment in U.S. history. Because this is game changer. This changes everything. And the stock market it got a little bit of reaction yesterday after this happened. And we're going to see how it plays out today when the stock market opens. But Wall Street isn't the best indicator for everything. It is an immediate reaction. It is all about uncertainty. It is all about just people just forecasting and not knowing what's going to happen, and immediate reaction. It doesn't really indicate what is long-term, what the stock market will be. It's going to react immediately, and it probably will not react in a good way. And we saw yesterday it did not. It went down right after this whole thing was released. But I think it's going to be, this is not near term. This is all about long-term, future. What does this mean for our kids, our grandkids? What does this mean for the America they're going to grow up in? Will they be every moment facing bankruptcy, complete financial meltdown every moment? I think if we continued the way that we were going, they would be. But Trump changes everything, absolutely everything. No other politician could have got this done. The other politicians, and we've seen years of this playing out, it was like the WWE. It was all fake and drama and theater and acting and, stir people up so I can get votes. Rile people up. Let's just rile people up for no purpose at all. This, I think, really, truly, ultimately will benefit everyone in the long run. And we might face a little bit of chaos immediately because people that are on the left are already just saying they're doing everything in their power to just tear at everything that Trump is doing, everything that this means. I saw Senator Chuck Schumer say, we're going to fight blood, tooth, and nail to stop these tariffs. What do tariffs even mean? What do they even mean? They're imposing on other countries what other countries are all day doing to us and what we buy. For years, we have been the rest of the world's bank, and people just, as a big man, come to us and threaten us and impose their will on us, as opposed to, no, let's reset. We are the giants in the room. Currently, presently, we are the ones that determine how the global economy operates. So we need to reset and make sure our place is recognized and not bow the knee to everyone else. We got to recalibrate everything. And that, I think, this is what it's doing. This is what it's doing. And not everybody's going to be happy about it. And your 401k might go down a little bit. But as a parent, if you are a parent, but as an older person, if you are an older person, does it matter more that you suck up everything that you can to benefit you, or that you want to prepare a foundation, plant trees so they grow up so that future generations can get the value of what you've created and what you've set in motion? And this goes to, and I'm going to read this first of all in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 14. No, sorry. Let me try that again. I'll be like Evan Almighty. Okay, 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 14. It says, Paul writing to the Corinthian church, "Here for the third time I am ready to come to you, and I will not be a burden. For I seek not what is yours, but you." And then he gives this little tidbit, this word of wisdom. "For children are not obligated to save up for their parents, but parents for their children." Now that is in a household. That's in a household. But like if we extrapolate that and apply it principally to a nation, the older people don't need to be sucking the life out of the younger ones. The older people need to prepare for the future ones. And I think this is what Trump is doing. And only Trump could have got it done. Only Trump could have got this done. No one else would have had a chance at all. And we've seen that for years because they're in office and they just want to stay in office. They just want all the perks, the benefits. They want the fundraising. They want all of that jazz, but they don't want to actually stick their neck out on the line and suffer the consequences if everyone backlashes and if it all comes tumbling down on them, because everybody is like, it's a snake's den in Washington. Everyone's there for them and they just want to do what's in their best interest. And they lose the best interest of their constituents. They lose the best interest of the people that put them there and who they're supposed to be fighting for. Trump, on the other hand, he doesn't got skin in the game. He doesn't need more money. He's got all the money he needs, ever could need. There are definitely benefits to being the president, so I get that. And power comes along with it. But you see a person's true nature when they have power. If you got power and then you just lord it over others and you just throw your weight around, are you really a good person? It shows your true character. And I think Trump is doing things that aren't politically the best feasible options available. He's doing things that they're going to hurt. And he understands that near term. He's playing the long game and he's playing for the future generations. This is putting into our American dream a bedrock that we can build upon. Because it's recalibrating the rest of the world so that they understand America ain't going to take that no more. We're not going to back down. We're not going to take that anymore. We're going to reset. All right, so I wanted to take a quick look at a clip from, this is the Secretary Treasurer and him speaking on Fox News in an interview he did. And I thought it was just badass what he said. And it might go under the radar for a lot of people, but I thought it was really cool. We're going to take a look at it. He's talking about the tariffs and he's being asked, how should other countries react? And let's just hear what he says.
But also there's a calculus here. Is what are our country's tariffs? What are their non-tariff barriers?
Oopsie. I was in the wrong part of the interview. Here we go. This is it.
To the 20% already, so that's 54% on Chinese goods.
Yes.
Are they going to come back with something big?
Well, we'll see what they do. Is my advice to every country right now is do not retaliate. Sit back, take it in. Let's see how it goes. Because if you retaliate, there will be escalation. If you don't retaliate, this is the high water mark.
So, also not in the list, Russia, Belarus, but Ukraine is on the list. Mexico, Canada, not on the list, other than the fentanyl tariffs already there. There's a decision making here.
Well, Russia and Belarus, we don't trade with, right? Like they're sanctioned, so.
Yeah, you're not trading with them anyway, so they don't get on the
Yeah,
list.
yeah. So, but they're.
Okay, so don't let anyone feed you that lump of garbage when they say all the tariffs went on all the other countries of the world, but not Russia. They're still just propagating this blatant lie and falsehood that we're not going to do it on Russia. It's because these sanctions are already on them, so we're not trading with them. So, because I did see this tweet by this person I think I follow him, but he's always in my feed, anonymous, and he's like, everything went on everyone else, but not Russia. Not Russia. They're still at this game, and it's kind of crazy. There didn't need to be one on Russia. There's already sanctions on them. So fact check me on that, but that was eye-opening how much people can just lie and deceive about things and just try to make it deceptive, you know? Not tell the whole truth, but just use whatever for their own gain. And if I'm ever wrong, if I ever say something that's blatantly stupid and someone calls me on it, I would hope that I would have the humility to say, man, that was dumb. Why did I just say that? And just own up to it. Because I will do that. But maybe that anonymous person, maybe they didn't know what they were saying. But I think we all get so lockstep in our ideology, it's hard to not see the truth. We get so caught up in everything else that we're just because when you are passionate about something and you like the blood just starts filling up in your eyes and you can't think straight, you start losing when your emotions take over. It's hard to think rationally and reasonably. And I've done that, and I do that a lot, and I try not to. And I've tried to kind of not be like that because you got to be able to think straight. And I think a lot of things, politics immediately just raises our blood pressure with anybody. You talk with anybody, it immediately raises their blood pressure. And so they're not talking the way that they might reasonably talk about in any other topic. So I want to have a level head in everything that I'm doing, and I hope you do as well. But some people out there, it's just they get so caught up in, and I'm sure I do that too. So I'm not going to say I got everything right. But overall, this is setting the foundation for the future of America, for future generations. We don't need to suck the life out and just be like vampires, just sucking the financial future from our children. Let's put them in a good spot so that they have a chance to go sky's the limit and to build on whatever they want to do. Because I've been in places where we're just spending the hell out of everything and we just throw it all and then we're seeing nothing but red, but we just keep spending because it's not our money. We don't really care. And I think that's the quintessential reality of Washington. They're spending everyone else's money. They don't care. As long as they keep their benefits in their short little window of time and space, they're good. They're good with spending your money. They don't care. They're good with spending they almost like they sear their conscience and blind their eyes to the future reality of their children. And anybody can do this, you know. We won't. That's hedonistic nature at its finest. We want pleasure immediately. We want it all now. And we don't screw everyone else. Screw the future. Screw our kids' future. And you might think your children right away, they're good, but you're going to have grandkids, Lord willing. You will have great grandkids, you know? So let's put them in a good position. I think that's what the founders of our country did. We're just living in borrowed capital. What they established for us in the United States is incredible. The great experience of the United States is incredible, absolutely incredible. And we get to eat it up every day and just take it for granted. But let's not be the weak men that destroy what we currently have, so the future is just not repairable and just left in a bad spot. So let's save up for our children, because children are not obligated to save up for their parents, but parents for their children. All right, so keep going and keep evolving to the best version of you.
I could see the cracks falling in the paint, growing like a fire. What do I say? Can you see them?